Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. Here at Moderna, we are really excited that you could join us. We will be showing you how to create issues, markups, approvals, and transmit documents within BIM 360 Docs. My name is Brooke Roux and I am the Key Accounts Manager for Moderna AEC, and I will be co-hosting this session today. Now I would like to introduce today's presenter, Ahmed Cassim. Ahmed is an application engineer within the architecture and interior design industries. This webinar will be recorded and it will be sent to you in the next day or so to recap on what we have covered here today. And if you would like to share it with any of your colleagues who were not able to attend, please feel free to do so. If you have any questions during this webinar, please post your questions in the Q&A section and one of our technical assistants will be able to answer for you once the webinar is completed. We would love to hear your feedback at the end of the session. The short survey will automatically pop up where you will be able to provide us with some valuable feedback. So without any further delays, over to you, Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Brooke. Hello and welcome once again to everyone. First of all, the Autodesk Safe Harbor statement to make it clear that BIM 360, the BIM 360 platform is an online based and can change from time to time. So for the program goals, to enable your team to use markups, issues, reviews, and transmittals to review and distribute project documents, and also give you a chance to ask questions in the Q&A in the chat section. Just drop your questions over there. So what we'll learn today: documenting issues when reviewing documents on site, understand how documents are approved and sent to make sure everyone has the most up-to-date information, how to access and leverage record documents in the field with your mobile device. And by the end of today's webinar, you will have basic skills for creating issues and markups and reviewing documentation, as well as transmitting construction documentation. Alrighty, so communicating 2D and 3D changes. In this section, we'll cover all topics regarding markups by talking about markup permissions. We have private and published. We will discuss how those are given and how to manage markups, what to do when I don't need a markup anymore. How do I know how many or which markups are on a page? So if users are unable to provide markups, start with verifying their permissions or their permission levels for the folder being used for the markups. And members must have edit permissions in order to publish markups. That is your view, download, upload, and edit. Markup functionalities. So for the markup functionalities, we have clouds, dimensions, and other 2D shapes. We have arrows, there's text, highlighters, multiple items can be attached to a single markup. Example, a single markup can contain both text and a dimension. We have the private versus published. Private markups are only visible to the user that created them and can be deleted. Published markups are visible to the entire team, assuming they have access to the view folder. Published markups can be deleted, or they can't be deleted. Published markups cannot be deleted, they can only be archived. The default setting is set to private, only the creator can view it. Published markups are visible to all project members with proper permissions to the folder where the documents are located. So reviewing markups, the number of markups to documents are shown in the markup column. Issues can be created next to markups. When markups are no longer needed, private markups can be deleted. Published markups can be archived. All right. So addressing problems by creating issues. So the topics that we're going to be going over here are an overview of the BIM 360 app, syncing documents. We're going to show PDF viewing, example plans, show model viewing, example Revit, Navisworks, etc. When a problem is discovered in the field, or when reviewing a document, an issue can be created in the section. We learn how to configure issues by looking at permissions, such as who controls, who can see and create issues. There's types and subtypes, example, design or build code that have default values, but can be customized by a project admin. Creating custom attributes for issues to make sure that enough information is being given when the issue is created. And issue permissions. So configuring issues can be done in the project admin module. If users don't have any issue permissions assigned, they will still be able to update and edit issues that are assigned to them or their company, but they will not be able to view or create any other issues. Example, if a subcontractor role is taken out of this list, then they will not be able to see anyone else's issues or create any issues. They'll only be able to update issues assigned to them or their company. Roles are given default permissions as soon as a project is created. A project admin can remove or restrict or expand permissions as necessary. By default, every issue requires a type and a subtype. To categorize issues, a project admin can customize these to tailor the types to their project team. So when an issue type is active, it means that it appears to the end user as an option when they're creating issues. When we set these to inactive, they no longer appear as an option when they're creating issues. For example, let's say we want to make quality not an option on observation. We would click the option and set this as inactive, which means that it wouldn't be an option for an end user. These options also apply to the root cause tab. The root cause is a property that shows up when an issue is created. However, root cause isn't a requirement field by default, but if it's a field, you'd like to have it in the issues. The customization options work exactly the same as issue types. When creating a new issue, make sure you consider the status set, as this can't be changed later. One status set is intended for field type workflows, where a subcontractor or other roles has work completed in the field. The other status is more of a question and looking for an answer. So configuring issues. Custom attributes. There we go. Excuse me. Custom attributes allows common questions to be answered when the issue is being created. So custom attributes maximizes the amount of information entered when a user observes an issue. For example, the custom attribute potential cost impact answers questions about scope change. Custom attributes can be added to an issue type and set as required if needed. Issue templates can be created to predefine issue templates can be created to predefined issue attributes, and issue category organizes the issue templates for later reference. Once created, the issue template will appear in a list view for easy access. What to do when a problem is found? Issues can be created in the document viewer. The Issues tab is in Document Management. If you find an issue while browsing a sheet, you can use the issue icon to place an issue on the document. You can set a pin on the sheet to represent the area of the particular issue. Using an issue template will pre-populate the issue attributes. If an issue is not tied to a particular sheet, then create an issue from the Issue tab. Very important. So reviewing and approving a set of documents. So what we're going to do is we're going to show what the review module does and why it's useful. Example, the outcomes. We're going to show create approval workflow. We walk through comments, markups, etc. And let's go. So for reviews, approval workflows are used to distribute project drawings, modules, and documents for approval. Example, when a new document is uploaded and potential cost impacts need to be delivered from team members. This ensures that the document was sent to the recipients. Approval workflows enable document managers to facilitate, control, and automate the distribution of documents. In this section, we will cover the process by looking at creating of approval workflows, submitting documents for review, monitoring reviews, and reviewing and approving documents. To create a review, a project admin can go into the project admin module to set a specific workflow for document approval. The services section of the project admin is where all project admin features live for active BIM 360 models for that specific project. Part of the document manager is the review feature. So we'll want to make sure that we're in the module within the services tab. Once we're looking at the review tab, we can start to create our approval workflow. So workflows are used to define the number of steps. The initiator determines who can use this template to start a review in document management. The approver determines who can approve the document during the specific step. Approved and rejected statuses are available as default. Statuses can be edited or added. After the review is complete, approved documents can be copied to a folder in document management. The initiators, reviewers, and approvers can be set by individual project members, all members within a specific role, or all members of a specified company. With regards to custom statuses, note that the value can either be an approval or rejected. The approval status label can be customized to show that what will be labeled in the folder during the review. Additionally, the icons can be customized from a preset of options. Submitting documents for review. Submit selected project documents or folders for review using defined approval workflows by selecting a folder, selecting documents. Only initiators designated by a project admin can submit documents for review. The number of steps in a review and the designated reviewers and approvers are defined by a project administrator when they create the approval workflow. Ensure project admin created a suitable workflow. So just check with your project admins that the reviewers have the appropriate permissions for folders containing the documents you are sending for review. After choosing which documents to review, choose the approval workflow. So send an email notification to the reviewers, approvers, and or the other project members to let them know that the review is ready. So use this when a new document is uploaded and potential cost impacts need to be delivered from team members. This ensures that the documents were sent to the recipients. So you have the ability to create workflows, and the ability to create workflows is also available from this tab for project admins only. So example reviews are shaft penetration drawings, design milestone sets, trade coordination drawings, etc. Monitor reviews in the reviews tab. Example, use this when a new document is uploaded and potential cost impacts need to be delivered from team members. This ensures that the document was sent to the recipients. Use the progress and activity tabs in the right-hand panel to check the review status. Send an email notification to assigned reviewers and approvers to take action. Review each document and add markups and attachments and comments as required. Example, use this when a new document is uploaded and potential cost impacts need to be delivered from team members. This ensures that the documents were sent to the recipients. Note that markups are published by default and can only be added by reviewers with view, upload, and edit permissions for the folder the documents are in. Comments can be added by the assigned reviewers or the administrators who initiated the review. Each reviewer can only add one comment per document. User can and release the review to allow another reviewer to claim the review task, or void the entire review to end the whole review and markup and mark it as void. Markups can be viewed by all project members with access to documents. Once the review is complete, the approver can send an email notification to the next role in the workflow. So reviewer or approver and other project members to let them know the initial or final approval review is complete. So transmittals, sending documents to the team. So topics that we're going to include here are what the purpose of the transmittal tab is, how to put a transmittal together, and what a transmittal looks like. When documents are ready to be formally shared with project members, transmittals can be created. The transmittals can notify members that documents have been issued, include instructions or a description for any required actions, a downloadable zip set of the transmitted documents, an audit trail tracking the nature of the transmittal, including specific document versions included, the members involved in the transmittal, and when any actions around the transmittal took place. Example, you will use this when a new document is uploaded and a potential cost impact needs to be delivered from team members. This ensures that the document was sent to the required recipients. Transmittals are created from the folders view within document management. You can create a transmittal from an entire folder or from a selection of documents. You can also hover your cursor over the folder or document and click the More menu, Create Transmittal. If you select the entire folder, you will be able to deselect individual documents in the next step. This can be a time saver if you need to share most of the documents in the folder. Recipients of the transmittal are notified via email when the transmittal is ready for review. After the transmittal is sent, you can view the details at any time to see who the transmittal was sent to, as well as download the document. Recipients will only be able to see that the transmittal was sent to them. They won't see who else received the transmittal. From here, they're able to download all the files as a zip. Custom transmittal numbers cannot be done at this time. So for the mobile, accessing your records and documents when you're in the field. Topics that will include here are overview of the BIM 360 app, syncing documents, PDF viewing, model viewing, etc., Revit and Navisworks, etc. So for the mobile application, the capabilities are, it's available on iOS and Android for both phone and tablet. Auto upload and sync documents are automatically received or synced when connected to a network. All documents are showed and issues and markups for a project. This allows you to stay up to date with the project information at all times. If you are on a Wi-Fi network, you don't have to download documents. For cell phones in the city, you may not need to download too many documents unless you're going to a vault or somewhere underground. But if you're working in an area where reception is really poor, then you can download them and access these documents in the downloaded folder. Once downloaded, documents will appear in the download tab. It also supports model file viewing for common file formats. So if you need to look at a ceiling layout in the field to make sure when you're on site, it aligns with the sign-off model, you should be able to pull that up as well. When in the field and you notice something to take note of, you can make a private markup that you can investigate later. If it turns out to be an actual issue, you can create an issue for that markup. You can also take measurements from the mobile app. So if you need to approximate the angle of a wall, you can measure on your mobile device, then measure in the field. Issue creation on mobile follows the same steps on the web. As issues on the web, we can create an issue from a document or from the issue module. It's more likely you'll notice an issue and want to take a picture of it when walking in the field. So you have been given the ability to link the issue to a document when creating an issue from the issue tab. Once a photo is taken of the issue, you can mark up the photo or just attach it directly to the issue. If you're on a walk and you notice an issue still hasn't been updated, you can tag someone so that their attention by going to the activity tab, so you can get their attention basically. So let's go through quick steps within document management on the web. So what I'm going to do is I've uploaded some PDF documents over here into the plans folder. And what we're going to start off with is we're just simply going to go into the PDF document. And once it's loaded, I'm going to zoom in a little there. And notice on the left-hand side, you'll see you have your markups, your issues, and the history. Over in the extreme right, you have a toolbar for all the tools you'll need to create the markup: text, callouts, clouds, arrows, etc. I'm going to choose a cloud for this one. And notice how you can snap to any element within the PDF document. I'm going to zoom into this window tag and I'm going to add a cloud to there. We are able to change the line style and fill style. For the line style, I'm going to change the line thickness to make it a little thinner. Much better. We can also add a fill to this cloud. At the moment, there's no fill. Once you add a fill, you can change the opacity as well, and you can go and delete the cloud if need be. I'm going to add a call out and some text. Well, I'm going to add some text rather. We can decrease the size of the text. We can change the text color, increase the size, line fill, etc., etc. So I'm going to type in here check window tag. Let's make that a little smaller. Notice that we can change the line style so that we don't have a border. We can simply move our text anywhere on the document if need be. I'm going to simply add an arrow. From my text to the cloud. And I can set the permissions from private to publish. Once I've set it to published, I can't set it back to private. Once it's on private, I can then at the later stage set it to publish. I'm going to save that markup. So if I go to the markups for this document, you will notice that's the markup I created. It's private. I can set it to publish being an admin with editing rights. I can edit this markup. So once I go into edit, I can change anything that I've already done within this markup. We can filter the markup. So who it was created by, who in the project created on, we can choose the day it was created on. And I'm just going to hit apply to this, or we can close that. We can add attachments if we need. So that's the markups. And once I'm done with the markups, I'm going to go to the document management module. We're going to create some issues. If I go to the project admin module, note that it by default brings you to the document management page. We're going to go to issues. Okay, members can always view and edit items they create and items assigned to them. So we are here setting permissions for the issues. As you can see, I have full folder control. You can set by a user, or you can set permissions by row. Let's go and create a new row. So what I'm looking for is the engineering manager or structural engineer. I'm sure we have engineering manager here. There we go. And for that role, I'm going to give view and create rights or permissions, and I'm going to add that. So there I have the engineering manager with view and create permissions. And that is assigned to a role. So any user that has the engineering manager role will have view and create permissions for issues. Then we have issue types. We have coordination issue types, and we can add, we have subtypes, so clash, coordination, or we can add our own subtype. In the ellipse, we can actually set this type as inactive, or we can edit them. In the design type, we can go and set it over here to inactive or active. We have the basic status set over there, and we can add custom attributes. Okay, so we're going to go to the root causes for our issues. Note that you have default root causes over here, and you can add a sub root cause of your choice. We can create our own category, and if we go over to custom attributes, we can create our own attribute over here. So for this one here, let's call this one potential, as we discussed earlier, potential cost impact. And you can set the type of this attribute. And for this one here, I'm going to set it from text. I'm going to change this one here to drop down, because then I have two options. I can say potential cost impact, yes, or no. So you can add in options over there, and you can add in a description if need be. And I'm going to create this custom attribute. So issue attribute potential cost has been created, as you'll note in the top. Now, if I go back to my types, and if I go to simply the quality type issue, note that for the subtype, we have quality as well. We can edit that one over here. As you can see, we are able to add our custom attribute. I'm going to add a custom attribute, and there I have my potential cost impact custom attribute. I'm going to select it and click add. All right. It's for the subcategory of quality. And if I just note that we need to save this, obviously. Issues subtype has been updated. So for the quality subtype, note that I have the attribute for potential cost impact in there already. Let's go back to our document management module. Note that for the activity, you can see who did what. I'm going to go back to the document manage module over there. And for issues, I'm going to go to the issues tab now. And as you can see, I have no issues within this project. I can add issue templates. Let's create new template. So first of all, we can choose the template category. We can search, we can create our own one. I'm going to call this one drywall. And I'm going to create that. New category has been created. All right, is it active or not? What's the title of this? I'm going to just type in here dent in drywall. And what is the issue type? Obviously, it's going to be a quality type. All right, that's quality is the category, and then we have the quality for subcategory as well. You can add that, or we can assign it to specific individuals within the project, or we can assign it to roles. We can add in a due date. For basically for the drywall, what I'm going to do is we're going to assign it to a specific company, and we can add in a description in there. Also, what you would possibly want to do is Let's scroll down a bit here. For the issue type, we set it to quality. That's right. And the potential cost impact, we can choose yes or no when creating this issue template. Make sure the owner is set. So you can by default in the template also set the owner of the specific type. Obviously, this is going to be trade quality or trade damage. The root cause was trade damage. Add a description and simply create the issue. New template created, as you can see over the top. The type, subtype created by, and if it's active or not. If we go back to our folders within document management, and I go to the plans folders where I have my PDF documents, I'm going to go simply enter that specific PDF document. Let's click on it. And now I'm going to create an issue within this document. So over on the left, we'll go to issues. Create an issue. Okay, we have to click on our drawing where the issue is. So add a pin in the drawing. And we can select an issue from our template. Remember, we created a template for the drywall. Let's choose the dent in drywall quality. We have the title in there, who it was assigned to. Obviously, we had that in the template. What the root cause was the owner, etc. And let's create that issue. There we go. New issue is created. As you can see, it's our first issue, number 1, dent in drywall, and it's opened, who it's assigned to, etc. Let's create the issue. You can create another issue, obviously. We gotta, I think, first of all, go and click a pin. So select where the issue is with regards to within the project. There we go. Let's make this a coordination type of issue. We don't want to select a template. So over here, I'm not selecting a template. So I'm creating an issue without a template. Let's call this one, let's say ducting or duct clashing with wall. We can assign to, again, a specific user or a role. You can choose the due date for this issue to be resolved. Let's create that issue. There we go. Issue number 2, we can export a CSV report, and we can create another issue if need be. If I go to the issue that I created, issue number 1, note that we can download this issue as a PDF as well. We can check the details. We can add in attachments or images of the specific issue. And we can also check the activity on this issue. It was created by whom, the type was set, who it was assigned to, the issue owner, the root cause, etc., etc. So a nice timeline of what is being done on this specific issue. We can change it from work to be completed, ready to inspect, approved, closed, void, etc. So once it's been completed, we can change the status of it to work completed. And just cancel that. Let's leave it open for now. Alrighty. If we go to our issues tab, note that we have the filtering over there. So you can filter by the type, the status, location, who it's assigned to. The statuses that we have are open, answered, work completed, ready to inspect, not approved, in dispute, closed, void, etc. We can also filter by There we go, status. Created on which day, etc. So filters very, very powerful. Can filter by user as well. We can even create an issue here that is not corresponding with a document, or you can link the documents if you need. Okay, so we have our two issues. If I go to an issue, note that I can also change the status here. Let's close out this issue if need be. For work completed, we can add a comment once work has been completed and simply click on done. We can download this as a PDF as well. So there our status has been changed. And now for reviews. So let's go to the document management module again. So if we go to our reviews tab, there we go, reviews. We don't have any reviews. We have to go to folders to submit documents for review. So as a project admin, if I go to the project admin module, I have the reviews workflows over here. So we can create an approval workflow for our reviews over here. You have the 1-step, 2-step, 3-step, 4-step, 5-step approval. For this exercise, let's do the simple 1-step approval. All right, so it allows you to route documents through an approved step, choose destination folder. Let's click on next. Let's name this one here. I'm simply going to name it our 1-step approval. And for the description, I'm going to give the description that was already given to us, which was the, let's have it as the root documents through an approve step, etc. So final review, and the review is done. We can set the initiator. Okay, that's going to be myself. And we can set the approver, which is also, I'm going to set it to myself. Note that you can set it to any particular person within the team, a reviewer with reviewing status. All right, we have our status labels for approved, rejected, or approved with comments. Okay, so update documents with approval status when review is complete. Also copied approved documents to a selected folder. Can add a custom note. I'm just going to save it as is. And there I have my 1-step approval workflow, which I can configure, duplicate, or deactivate. So let's go back to document management. I'm going to go back to my plans folder where I have my PDF documents. And for this specific document, I'm going to go and submit for review. So I can do it over there, or I can click on the ellipse over there within the document. I can choose the approval workflow that I've created. All right, and I can select documents over here as well. And I'm going to submit that for review. There we go, review 1 is open. So it notified the reviewers, people who need to review this. Any other project members, you can add them in there and add a message as well. You're going to click on send. They will get an email delivered to them for the review. If I go to reviews tabs now, the review tab now within document management, you'll see I have the review that was created, the amount of documents. And if I click on this review, the specific review, as a reviewer, I can now go and see what has been happening over here, and I can start this review. All right, I have the final review, so let me start the review. I can go into this document, and once I'm in the document, I can go and add markups, issues, comments, etc. for this drawing during the review. And once I'm happy with everything, I can set the approval status to approved, rejected, or approved with comments. I'm just going to approve this one. I am happy with this, and I can submit this review. Being able to do the final review, I can add in some notes and I can submit as well. And it will tell me when the review is submitted and closed. I will be notified via email as well. So for transmittals, if I go back to my folder, I can go and select from my documents, obviously within the plans folder, which documents or folders I want to submit for review or create transmittal, sorry. I can add a title to this transmittal. So obviously these are architectural drawings. So I'm going to leave it as O1 Architect PDF transmittal. Recipients, we can send it to specific recipients within the project. We can send it to specific roles within the project. So anybody assigned to a specific role will get it if I transmit it to a specific role. It'll show me which documents are being ready for transmittal, and I can add documents and a message over there. I can see all recipients for view permissions as well. Transmittal is prepared, transmittal has been sent. So people will get an email notification, and in BIM 360, you will be notified that a transmittal has been sent to what's the title, who it was sent by, the recipients, when it was created, and the amount of documents. All right, if I enter that transmittal, you can see that these were the details of who it was sent to and who received it. We can also download the zip files over there from BIM 360, which is pretty cool. So some takeaways and next steps. Today we went through communicating problems by using issues and markups, approved documents by using a formal review. We sent a record of drawings to the project team by using a transmittal. And we know that you can utilize information in the field with a mobile device. So kindly leave your questions in the chat with your email addresses, and we will happily respond to them personally. Thank you for joining us. Keep well, stay safe. Brooke, over to you. Any last comments?
Ahmed, there is a question in the Q&A from Johan.
Yes. Okay, so Johan, I see your question over there. Is it possible that you can leave us your email address, as it's a lengthy question, and we can send you a personal email to get back to you with regards to that. Thank you everyone for joining. Keep well, stay safe, and enjoy.